everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Aniku and today we are going to talk about how to turn your weaknesses into strength and just in general self-awareness. I hope you are excited. Let's get going. These days we hear so much about self-awareness. It just feels like that it's all over the news, doesn't it? But we all know that it starts with strengths and weaknesses, and it says that you should embrace your weaknesses while working on your strength. Even research shows that when you are working on your strength, you feel 6 times more engaged and more fulfilled in your life than when you're working on your weaknesses. We all want to hide away our weaknesses. We just don't want to even think about them because it means like it's a bad quality. We are taught by the society and the family these limiting beliefs, and the more time we hear about this, the more time they tell us, actually we start telling it ourselves and we create this limiting belief. What if I told you that you can turn your weaknesses into your strength? What if I can tell you that your weaknesses by changing your environment can actually show you your dream job, or it can give you a reflection to figure out why you don't like certain things? Let's look at some examples. There are 2 ways to turn your weaknesses into strength. The first one is changing the environment. I'm going to share my own weaknesses with you so you can understand how to turn them around, because I was also there. I also hid my weaknesses under a blanket. I just wanted to hide it. The thing was, when I actually faced them, I realized like, oh, wow, I could actually use this. This is actually good. Why did I hide it away? It was like a light bulb moment in my head. So for example, I'm super impatient. If I'm working on a computer and I see that loading sign, it just loads and loads and loads and loads. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. I'm going crazy. I'm one of those people who actually need the punching boxing hand next to her computer so I can just punch it every time and I feel overwhelmed. But when I was looking at it in another way, I realized that impatience took me to actually act, because I don't like waiting. My impatience makes me act on the small things so I can be patient with the big ones. Or, talking to most of you women out there, I'm an overthinker. I always think about the what if. Just you come up with the worst situations in your mind and you want to solve it immediately. How can you turn this around to be a strength? Well, if you're working on a project and you have to actually figure out what could go wrong, overthinking and going into the what if could be an advantage, because you understand all the what ifs, all the negative sides of a project, so you can work around it and you can create a plan B, a plan C, get prepared for whatever is going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, all good for you, but if it does, then you are prepared for it. Or there are so many other weaknesses that you can turn into strength. Another weakness is procrastination. And you are like, yeah, I have no clue how to turn procrastination into a positive thing. And of course, over procrastinating is a bad thing. However, if you give yourself a time limit in procrastination, that is creativity. So listen to this. Procrastination with a time limit is creativity, because you have time to think, you have time to brainstorm and get ready to take action. And that's the difference. Don't just procrastinate and watch Netflix. Don't just procrastinate and do nothing, lay in bed, be lazy. Procrastinate in a way that you create something in the meanwhile, that you give yourself the permission to just try out different things, to brainstorm, to be creative. And when the time is over, then you can start acting. Another could be that you get super bored easily. You might feel that when you are on a course or a meeting, you feel like that you can't pay attention. However, you could be a great teacher, a great videographer, a great marketer, because you understand when people would zone out, when they would get bored. You have that knowledge within you, so you can create a content that would keep people's attention, because you know when to switch around and when to hold breaks. So think about these ways. I hope you realize that the very same quality that is a bit disadvantaged, that makes you weak in one area, that makes you a misfit, there is actually going to create an opportunity for you in another area. It's going to be something positive, a strength in another environment. For example, if I would have studied with civil engineering, I probably would have been a project manager because that fits more to my personality. I just can't sit behind the desk. And that takes us to the second model. If you look at your weaknesses and figure out what's the opposite of it, you can figure out the strength, most probably. So for me, I hate monotonous jobs. I just can't imagine myself doing the very same things from 9 to 5. But if I look at the opposite, I love being active, I love being challenged, I love doing different things all the time. So you shouldn't fit yourself into a box where you need to do monotonous jobs if your personality is the opposite. There are going to be people who are going to prefer that monotonous jobs, and that is fine because we are all different. And that's what we should understand. We shouldn't put ourselves in a box where our qualities are not showing. We should find an environment where you can showcase it, because people are not going to recognize it for you. You need to show it to people that you could actually do this, that this is you and you're fascinated about this. Think about Joshua Bell. He is a great violinist and he decided that he's going to play in the subway. And of course, no surprise, people are just passing by here and there, tossing him a few coins. That was not his environment, but I'm telling you, the very same night, he had a concert. Joshua Bell had a concert in one of the biggest halls in Europe, and the tickets, they were sold for more than $100. Right? Knowing your environment, knowing who is going to appreciate what you can do, can be a game changer for you to find your success, to find your passion, and find where you want to be in life. So it's time for the exercise. We are going to do some mental redecorating. That means we are going to rephrase some of the words that you use to describe your weaknesses. Think about the word weird. When you say someone is weird, it's a negative quality, right? They just don't fit in, they are misfits. But if you say they are unique, it means that you are special. You are different than others, and there's a piece of gold in you. What if someone tells you that you are a nerd? You feel like, oh my god, I should just hide my knowledge, I shouldn't feel confident in being a nerd. But the thing is, when you are a nerd, you are also knowledgeable, you are smart, and you know all the bits and pieces of that environment, or of that knowledge. And that's going to give you a competitive advantage when you want to start a company, if you want to find a job. Being a nerd means that you are super passionate about that topic, and you can teach it, you can coach it, you can mentor it, you can consult about it, because that means you know more than most people do. So what I want you to do is write down 10 of your weaknesses, and then pick the top 3 that describes you, and try to rephrase it. Try to find a positive word for it to describe that quality, and then look for a different environment where you could use it. You can use it at your job maybe, find a different role, or if you can't find it in your work environment, again, I'm not saying to quit, you can try to find some volunteering, or you can try to find some communities where there are like-minded people and you can just showcase whatever you are passionate about. I'm sure if you try enough and you search enough, you're going to find the environment and you are going to feel amazing. So this is the end of our second video. Thank you so much for watching. Please in the comments share your weaknesses with others and how you turn it around so they can use it as an inspiration, because maybe there are some people who feel the same way. They have the same weaknesses as you do, but they just have no idea how to turn it around. And also you can grab the exercise sheet below. Thank you again for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye guys.